Good morning, and welcome to the Facebook Live for Artistic Artifacts. I'm Andy Martin. We're so glad you're here. Please drop us a note in the chat where you're dialing in from. We'd love to see how far folks are reaching out. So today we're going to be talking about the number 38 foot. That's the Bernina foot of the month. They call it the piping foot. I don't know who comes up with these names, but it's also called the uneven foot. And so look forward to showing that to you. A couple announcements first. Next week we have the Creative Quest. That is an in-store event, and it's going to be all sorts of great activities here in the store. We look forward to seeing you for that. And then we've also got the Bernina Roadshow later in October. This is a great opportunity to come in and learn all about the new Bernina machines that Bernina released earlier this year. And then the following, then we've also got some great opportunities for Bernina financing that you'll want to check out. So come to the Bernina Roadshow to explore all the machines, decide which one you want, and then you can come in and get some great Bernina financing. And I've got a little known secret. So come over. We've got a great deal on the 990. This is the best price that you'll ever see. It is currently the retail is $17,999. That is almost $8,000 off of retail, off of the normal price. So, and if you do a trade-in, there's an even better deal. So if you've been thinking about a 990, now is the time to take the plunge. So many great features on the 990: the larger hoop, the larger throat space, and the bigger screen make the 990 really a game changer. Everybody who's sewn on it is they just are wowed by it. So take advantage of that great pricing. So let's talk about the piping foot. So the piping foot, this is there's only one foot. There's no C or D. That's just the one foot, and it's a straight stitch foot. So you see that there's only the groove in the center, but the real secret here is on the back, and you'll see that one side of the presser foot is higher than the other, and so that allows when you've got a project that's in, it allows you to have that thicker the thicker fabric on the right hand side, and then it can glide up and keep it going. So let's go over to the machine and show you some things about how we can do this. So I do have the number 38 foot selected, and I have increased the stitch length to 3.0. So that way, because essentially we are top stitching. So I've got a piece of fabric here, and I've got a piece of piping. And you'll see that it's the black and white. We do have this here in the store. So all I'm going to do is just line that edge up with the edge of the fabric, and then I'm going to line the edge up, line the edge of the piping up against that. Get my fingers out of the way here. All right, and then once I start sewing, so you see that the needle is just to the right of that piping, and this is going to give us that really nice professional finish on this piping. So I'm going to put this in, insert this now. Okay. And then there it is. And now I'm going, when that, I'm going to attach I would bring in the next piece of fabric. Again, just layer that in. Go do the second pass. And at home you might pin or wonder clip. And that piping rides right along that edge of the fabric, or the edge of the presser foot. So let's bring this out. And then when you would turn this out, there's your piping. Absolutely perfect. And again, this works with really small piping, as well as larger pieces. So this works really well in children's clothing. I did make some bias binding, and I've got and I put a little I've got a piece of 12 weight that I'm using as my filler, but you could do the same thing with this, and I put this in as a sample. So that's again, that's piping, but there's really so much more that you can do with this foot. So once you put that piping in, you might want to put in a hem. So we've all done a double fold hem where you fold up and then you fold over. Well, now I can put that hem, and again bring that hem right to the edge. Let's get that. Did we lose it? Yep. Sorry, my hand slipped. Okay. So I'm just going to put that hem, and I'm face down right now, but I'm going to put that hem just right there next on the edge, and that's going to run all the way down. I'm just going to do a quick, and this will make the fastest hem that you've ever done. And there's our hem, right there on, with that piping, nice and even, all the way down. So, other things that you could do, how many of you have done Velcro? And you always, especially, you don't want to crush the tape, the hook and loop tape. So, what I'm going to do here quick on this piece of denim, I'm just going to draw a line so that I've got a reference mark. I would, if I wanted to center this, just make a press for the center. So I've got that, and now I can keep that lined up. Drop my, and again I've still got the stitch length at 3.0, and that because that right side foot is higher than the left, it's riding right over the top of the Velcro of those hooks. And so now we can go all the way around real quick. And again, you're not crushing the hook and loop tape. So it's going to be the easiest way to put in Velcro. Then we just finish that off. So, and there we go, and then you would be able to do that. I also have done some strapping, some webbing. So again, the webbing fits right underneath the side, so that you can ride that all the way down. And I've done on a this really comes in handy for bags, because I like when I do bags, and this is my big beach bag. And so I use that foot to go all the way down and around on the whole way on this tote bag, and that gives it a lot of strength. And I think I think it was a nice design element as well on this selvage denim bag. So really this foot is really versatile. It's certainly more than just piping, and so other things that you might want to try. So a trim like this fancy trim. Again, this has got a lot of bead work into it. So having that elevation on the right side will keep the foot from sticking on all that.
We lost the audio.
Okay. Testing. Technical difficulties here.
I can hear it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I stopped getting into it.
Okay. So this is webbing from BERNINA. So if you're thinking about BERNINA bags, this is a great might be a great opportunity or a great investment for you to make adding those straps easier. Again, we've got the piping that I showed you. And this is great little piping. And who doesn't love some 70s inspired ball fringe? I mean, put this on a pillow, on a curtain, on whatever. I mean, this just makes people smile. Yeah.
Or laugh.
Or laugh. Or laugh. Or both. So
we could all use a laugh.
Indeed, and we could all use a little bit of a every now and then. So that is the piping foot, and so what questions do people have about the piping foot, or about what we've got going on here in the store?
We had some late joiners, so remind everybody what number the foot is.
This is the number 38 foot. So and if you're interested in this is also a great opportunity to plug the Big Book of Feet. So the Big Book of Feet has a great selection or some great ideas about using the number 38 piping foot. It also talks about stitch lengths that you can use, different ideas for again heavy trim, the mini piping, inserting the everything. So the Big Book of Feet, if you're ever if you ever wonder when because BERNINA has a foot of the month every month. So if you have the Big Book of Feet and you can say, well, what would I use that for? And you can great reference. Again, it does show it has a great diagram here for the where you've got the needle opening. It's got that wall on the left hand side, so that and the stitch indentation, so that it will go really well. So this is a great foot if you are doing any type of piping, cording, strapping, Velcro, and quite honestly, if anything that where you're going to have that thicker fabric that and you put that on the right hand side of your and so it might be a little different than than your normal workflow. But the piping foot is a great foot to add to your arsenal. Other questions?
No, but Judy said she's already learning a lot. We always do, Andy.
Yeah. Well,
I've
thank
got
you.
a pillow to make, and I was waiting for this one, so I would know how to make the piping on it.
Yes. And the nice thing about with this foot, again because you do put the piping on on the inside. because when you put right sides together, you're gonna turn it out. So having this, the wall on the left-hand side, makes it, easier. And again, it helps just keep everything straight and gets you that nice professional finish. I mean, again, this is looks great, on a, as we did that, and again, you doing the hem, the double fold hem on this, uh, you could, do that double fold hem as large or as small as you wanted to do, and you're going to get a great finish on that hem every time. And that takes a lot of the guesswork out of doing the hem. I did this one. This is a much smaller hem. It's only about an eighth, an eighth to a quarter of an inch. Uh, and again, it works out really nice. So the
So
piping.
this would be, you could use the piping foot to put a hem on, like if you were making napkins
You,
or,
na,
out of a batik fabric
na,
for the holidays or something, you could.
yeah, napkins, curtains, so, if you had, a cafe curtain that you were making, this would be a great way
So
to
for those of us who don't have sergers,
right.
this is a good tool to
It,
have for doing some of those things that you might do on your serger.
Sure. And again, this is where, every, different applications, different tools, just like, you use a hammer for a nail and a screwdriver for a screw. This is a great option for piping, for, like, say, for also for the, for the strapping, because again, you, and again, if you had a matching thread, that would just, would just blend right in. We did this in a contrasting thread to, to make it easier to see on camera. So, again, so many different options to do, and so many opportunities and doors that having the piping foot opens up for you, so that, you can feel empowered to make the projects that you want to make, and you're going to create that, with a great professional look that's gonna make people, ooh and ah when they see it. Well, thanks so much for joining us today on Artistic Artifacts. If you're not already subscribed to our newsletter, check out ArtisticArtifacts.com, scroll to the bottom, and subscribe to the newsletter. Every Wednesday, we send out specials and activities that are going on in the store. We follow that up on Monday, just to make sure you saw that. And then also any new classes, any new activities that are going on with us are listed there. And then you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Andy Martin Makes. Look forward to seeing you on the next one, and have a great day. Take care. Goodbye.